I want to talk about creativity. So, a few years ago, I was gifted this book, Creativity Takes Courage, Dare to Think Differently. And I wanted to delve into some of the principles in this book and touch upon what it really takes to unleash your creativity. This book is very interactive. It's not meant to be a book that you sit down and read in one fell swoop. It has a lot of writing exercises. It has a lot of paper products that you could pull out and use. So, first, let's talk about what it takes to become creative. Dare to fail. One of my favorite principles in this book is the idea of failure. Our society, I think, places a lot of focus on failure, and there's a fear of failure. But failure is what teaches us the most. It's not about whether or not you're going to fail, because we're all going to fail at something, but how you react to the failure that matters. Failure teaches us how we should have done something, or at the very least, it teaches us how we should have not done something. And when it comes to taking on a creative endeavor, the focus should be on learning, not on performance. Another principle that I really liked is daring to start. The book emphasizes that the issue of creating is not a lack of ideas, but the fact that our head is just filled with too much stuff. And the best recommendation that the book gives is to do small steps. It's better to do a little bit each time instead of everything at once, because little steps lead to big leaps. And one of the most important things is to make your practice a routine, because it builds a habit and creates less resistance in your brain. Your brain will then start to crave the routine. The most important thing is starting and to take the smallest step possible, one that requires no effort whatsoever. And if you find yourself experiencing effort in the very beginning, then you could divide it into smaller steps. Take the tiniest step possible just to move forward, because once you have the momentum, you have no idea how far you can go. Another element that I really liked is daring to sleep more, which is so fundamental. We all need to sleep, but we neglect our sleep. And I think that for those of us who try to gain as many productive hours as we can, we skip on sleep. But the truth is that you don't gain more productive hours when you reduce sleep, because you lose quality. The lack of sleep reduces your creativity. If you want to actually function and you want to be creative, you have to give yourself the time to sleep. You're not being more productive by not sleeping. A related element, I think, to this is daring to be bored. There's a misunderstanding that boredom is frivolous, but it's the quiet moments that bring about ideas. It's okay to be bored. It's okay for free time to actually be free, because boredom gives you the space for new ideas. That's why shower thoughts are called shower thoughts. It's those moments where your brain is just not focused on anything that real ideas come in. It's when you're standing in line, it's when you're going for a walk that you might have a light bulb go off in your head. Another point in the book is to have a beginner's mind. As we get older, we are no longer discovering new things, so the backdrop becomes more constant. And because of that, the years start to feel like they're flying by. We don't see any change, we don't see anything new. In order to open up your mind and to become more creative, you have to see the world as a beginner, to see the world as a kid. Doing new things lengthens your perspective on time. The final point that I really liked in this book is daring to be mindful. Something that we forget about, or I forget about, is that you are not your thoughts. In order to actually take on something creative, you have to be able to observe your thoughts from a distance, because we are our worst critics. Your own thoughts can take you down quicker than any enemy. So in order to actually create, you have to be mindful of yourself, mindful of the moment, and to actually open up your mind to new ideas and new possibilities. So like I've mentioned before, this book is very interactive, and everything that I've said is just a tiny sliver of what's in this book. There are 13 chapters. I think I only touched about 4 of them or 5 of them. There are a lot of writing exercises that you can do, and that's really the point of this book. If you want to do something interactive that forces you to try new things, that mentions ideas, gives suggestions, then this could be really fun to go through. It takes maybe an hour to read the entire book. It's tiny and it's very cute. It seems like a really nice gift, and yeah, it's fun to do.